What was your turning point where you said, I'm just done pursuing early retirement?
Well, I think it wasn't any one particular thing. I think it was a cumulative effect with
Mm.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. Like I have to phrase this correctly. Just seeing a lot of the influencers, and I know this is sample bias because the people that are making money writing about being early retired, that's who you're hearing from and seeing. But they're not really early retired, in my opinion. I'm kind of like the retirement police. Retirement is ceasing to work. I'm like the guy in Office Space. Like I want to do nothing. Like, and I think it's everything I dream it could be. Like, so I don't know. To me, early retirement isn't changing jobs, and it's not pursuing entrepreneurship, and it's seriously ceasing to work and living off of your investments.
Mm.
And I also know, like, at one point, my blog it was starting to rival my full-time employment as far as time. So it was almost like having a second full-time job with deliverables and, expectations and customers. And it's just like my job. Like in fact, I would say more stressful than my regular corporate job because it's all on me. I don't have a team of people, that I can go to. And maybe that's because I haven't scaled it up yet, right? But I don't want to be that person.
You saw the dream, but the dream actually turned out to be you creating a business out of your early retirement, and
at
that's
least,
where it felt maybe
yes.
disingenuous to you.
Yes, and that's what I was seeing. And then I started to take a step back and think about, well, okay, do I really hate my job? No. No, in fact, I can work from home 2 days a week. And I often don't take that opportunity because I like going into the office and sitting under those lights.
Right.
I like my coworkers. I like the atmosphere. I like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Plus
What
the benefits, the salary and the benefits and everything else that goes along with it.
what I'm taking away from our conversation so far is that, and I do this a lot, Lisa. I read a book or I listen to a podcast, and I'm like, wow, that idea is incredible, and I have to do it because this person wrote a book. They must be so smart. And whatever they say, I need to do. And that's like my Andy disease. I do it all the time. So it sounds like maybe you and I are kind of in sync where you saw something and you're like, that looks glorious. And I'm
Yes.
going to do that to the full extent because you're a hardworking, goal-oriented person and you don't stop, right? And that's why
That
I
is
think
so
I think that's why
true.
you and I get along. It's because we're very similar in a lot of those fashions. Um, but through this process, through experimenting yourself, you've been able to discover what's more important to you, and it's not early retirement. Do I have that right?
You are so right. You're so right. I mean, look, I don't want to not go for pizza on Friday nights. I do not want to forego cable. That's right. I want cable. Actually, it's subscription TV, but whatever, right? We have a few strung together. Yeah, if I want a nice car, I want a nice car. That's not to say I'm going to go out and buy like a Tesla or something, but I want to enjoy life now and later.
That's great.
So, and it's certainly, I mean, our savings rate is still hovering around 50%. So it's not like we chopped it down to 5% or anything like that and, forget the future. But, and especially while my daughter is young, I don't want to forego the nice family vacation. I want to make those memories with her, and I don't want her memories to just be, oh, how can we save another $2?
Yeah.
I mean, I want her to have that as well.
So I see this.
Yeah.
I see this like chart in my brain right now where you guys were saving maybe whatever 30% or something like that before because you were both frugal, and then you saw all the stuff and you're like, well, if I just amp that up to 70%, then it's going to be even better. And so you went up to that level and you're like, oh no, this is no good. And then you kind of like, okay, now you're scaling back to maybe 30 or 50% or whatever, and
Yes.
it's feeling more happy. So is it a moment of just discovery of what your right savings rate is?
That might be a fair statement. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and Andy, you're so right. Like when I saw this for the first time, I was like, like it was the next day.
Oh,
I'm
me
like, we're
too.
we're
Me
saving
too,
this
sister.
much.
Same thing.
It was the next day. I could barely get through the night without
Yeah.
like increasing my investments.
Yeah, no, I saw a lot of it, and I admire a lot of those people that have early retired. Some of them are my close friends, and I think it
Yes.
is fantastic. But
Yeah.
part of what you've discovered and what I've discovered too is that it's just finding what's right for you and finding what's right for your family. If a 70% savings rate is going to make you feel uncomfortable because you can't get your pizza on Friday night, then don't do that. And I'm so glad that you have. So we've talked a little bit about your thoughts around maybe some complaints or griefs with the fire movement. Let's talk about some of the things you admire the most about the fire movement.
Oh my gosh. I do. I published a post recently as 5 things I hate about the fire movement, but I also do love aspects of it as well. I mean, if it weren't for the fire movement, we wouldn't be in the position we are today. Like we really, since 2015 have been laser focused on our finances, and we've eliminated all debt except our mortgage, and we're just investing, investing, investing. And yeah, I mean, and it is motivating. It's inspiring. It's motivating. You just kind of have to pick and choose, who you follow, who resonates with you, and who's genuine.